friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cher, and today we have a brand new drop from Natasha Denona, one of my favorite brands. This is her new High Gen Skin Infused Glow Beautifier. I have already taken a little swipe at it, but here is what she looks like on the inside. Just disregard my little swipe. And this is described as a highlight bouncy face powder. So we are going to be trying it out today, talking about it and what it's supposed to do. But we're also going to use this episode, video, what have you, to kind of do a battles video, because I think there's a few other products that it reminds me of or that might give you the same idea. So we're going to go through some of those and try those out and compare it to this one and see if it does or does not perform the same way. Just some of these other products that I think work as like base primers or balms or even priming moisturizers or serums that kind of give a glow or a different look in the skin that you can either use as a base or to mix in to your foundations or skin tints. Some that might be worn more as a skin tint and others that are more as just kind of a primer or even just a glowy moisturizer. We're going to cover it all and we're going to see how do these products work and what do we do with them. So if that interests you, stick around and we are going to hop right on it. All right, guys. So first, let's talk about this Natasha Denona product real quickly. What is it supposed to do? What is it? So if you are a big Natasha Denona fan, you may have come across her High Gen Serum. And it's it did very well. A lot of people love this. And so she has now incorporated that serum into a powder form that's supposed to be very highlighty and glowy. And I was very intrigued. I still was kind of like, what is this? How does it work? What do you do with it? So that's what we're going to try out today. It says that it's clinically proven test results to reduce pore visibility, increase skin hydration, and improve skin moisturization. It's available in 4 shades. Now, the lightest shade was sold out, so I went with the medium. Hopefully that works on my skin tone. I think it will be fine. I probably should have gone with the medium, honestly. But I think that this is almost like a primer, a serum, and a highlight all in one, maybe, if I'm understanding that correctly. So highlighting bouncy face powder. Is it going to make our face bouncy? I think because it's infused with skincare, that's what the claims are. So I'm going to put in the clip from Natasha Denona where she was demonstrating how to use it. So I'm going to put it here for you. We are going to play with it and see how we want to use it.
If you are on a no makeup day and you just want your skin to glow, you can just use it on top of moisturizer.
Okay, so she was saying that she uses this almost as her everyday base product. And if you just maybe even want to spot a little with concealer in some other areas that need more coverage, but then you could actually use this as just your base and you have this glowing skin each day. Or you can even use it to spot for highlight. Just use it as your actual highlight if you want to, you know, put it in on the cheeks and wherever you want to really glow. Or use it under your makeup so that you have kind of a glowing skin from underneath. So there's a lot of different ways you can use it. And that's the idea with a lot of these other products as well. I think a big thing right now, full coverage is not quite as in right now. I'm a full coverage girl. I like to cover these spots. I like my skin to look all like one color and very put together, but I'm also a freelance makeup artist. So I probably wear a lot more heavy makeup than your average person, just thinking from that, you know, standpoint. However, that's not necessarily what's kind of like trending in the moment. And especially for summer, going into summer, your products similar to this are a little bit more in. As I say, skin is in. I think that very like clean girl, you know, people want a little more natural, but like glowing skin. And so some of these base products and even like skin tints and tinted moisturizers and whatnot are kind of more maybe trending in base products. You've even got like your more natural people are putting on freckles on fake freckles on purpose to get that like sun-kissed freckly look, you know, instead of your perfect full coverage, like all one monotone skin look, you know. So I think that's kind of the idea with some of these types of products. I'm going to go ahead and just start testing it out as my base and see how it looks. I don't have on any skincare, any base. I don't have on any makeup other than I did my brows just a teeny bit, but that's it. So that we can kind of see how it goes onto the skin. And we can do some other comparisons from there. Okay, now she does actually say, I caught this part, that you put this on top of moisturizer. And I was like, from a swipe, it did look more powdery on my fingers. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. It looks like powdery highlight. Here is kind of the glow. So I see that, like I probably would not apply it to a dry face. So I'm going to put the moisturizer on first. This is just my day moisturizer. And then we'll put this product on top of it. Okay, and then she just took like a fluffy brush. So I'm going to use my It Cosmetics. This is the Airbrush Smoothing Foundation Brush 102. And I am just going to dip it in there. And let's see, she kind of just did these interesting stroking motions. I am not seeing anything. It makes it glowy. Yeah, but it definitely feels powder-like. My hair is getting all stuck in it, isn't it? Yeah, it's very powder-like, so interesting. So I would never wear this as my base, just letting you guys know, because it's not covering anything. But she talked about, you know, you can come in with concealer and kind of just spot over some places. If I did that, I would use something that is the same skin tone and then use this with it. So you can see it's definitely giving us a nice glow. Very nice. And this is kind of like her everyday look. Okay. And so I guess the skincare is supposed to help give it this like silky finish, which it does, but you have to put it on top of a moisturizer. Let's spot check real quick. I'm going to come in and just spot over some of my spots here so they're not too standing out, you know, just even out these spots some. So I'm actually using more of I'm using NYX for this, and it's very easy. It is actually more of a peach one though. This is the medium dark circle concealer. It's got a slight peach tint to it, but it's light enough for me to almost just use it as a regular concealer over some of my spots. Because it almost blends into my skin, but it's just easy for using your finger and dipping in instead of having to like do this like crazy over the top concealer hack, you know? And I'm just using it to kind of conceal and even out my spots without having to have like a lot of base makeup on. Now that could work for me in a pinch. If I wanted just glowy but natural looking skin, I've evened out some of these spots on my face a little bit. But I have this very natural glow and it's kind of nice for summer. So yeah, that could work. That's really the idea. So basically I've got a touch of mascara, my brows, and then base. And I feel like I would want a little more than this, maybe a little, you know, blush, maybe a lip balm. But I could go out in public like this or at the beach and feel very like glowy and summery and natural. So I do kind of like how, I like the idea, and I'm trying to get used to this idea as a base instead of my full, you know, coverage, full glam look that I typically do. All right, so let's try this under a foundation now and see what it would look like. I'm just gonna use my new Armani, which is a fairly full coverage. I think it says it's medium to full. So we're gonna put this on top of it, but man, actually I really love that with the foundation. It is glowing from underneath. I can see, wow. Love that. You can really see it glowing from under, can't you? I definitely still feel like I need a little under the eyes. Under the eyes is something that I think most people kind of ignore when they're going natural, but I think that that's one of the most needed places to touch up, because that's where you really see the most like discoloration and unevenness. And it just makes the biggest difference in the world to like brighten your eyes. But of course, now I'm brighter. You would probably want a closer to your skin tone to give you a more natural look. Doing like a pressed powder right in that area. And there we go. But still so glowy from underneath. Beautiful. All right, so I like it as a primer from underneath. It definitely gives the glow to it. Let's try it now as a highlight, just as like a highlight alone. So I am going to do my highlight brush. Just put it right there on the cheeks. Definitely like a more subtle highlight. Not that much more than what we were already getting, but you know, you can definitely use it as a highlight too. Not a lot of like color to the highlight, but you can still use it as highlight as well. I'm even going to use it like in the corners of my eyes here. And look at there. It does. It definitely works as a highlight also. Very nice. I think all these other products we're seeing out there kind of do similar things as this. I think what makes it innovative for Natasha Denona is that it includes her Hygiene serum formula in it. And because the Hygiene serum in her line was very popular, it's because she's incorporated that into this product. But let's talk about some other products that I think can do similar ideas. All right, guys, so there's so many products I think really do give you the same concept. We've got Versed Mood Lightening Glow Drops. These have peptides and blackberry extract. So skin treating, kind of like primer, but very glowy. Same idea. I think these might be just a little more tinted. We have MAC Strobe Cream, Hydratant, it says. So it's a cream, skincare, but then also gives you a highlight glow to the finish. We have the Elemis Superfood Glow Priming Moisturizer. Again, skincare, primer, and a glow. We have the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. And this is a sublimating fluid spectacular glow long wear 24-hour hydration. Same idea. We have the Danessa Myricks Wet Dew Balm. Now this is actually kind of more of a, or Dew Wet Balm in the shade Rose Water. This is more of a highlight and blush. So you're gonna have more of like blush tints in it, but it can kind of give a blushed priming, you know, it's a wet dew balm. So it's more of a balm finish, but it has highlight and blush and balm in one. So somewhat similar, but maybe a little different. We also have the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, a natural glow enhancer. So this can be used as like a primer and glow from underneath. Also, we have the Micho Beauty Sheer Glow Primer. Again, a glowy primer. This is a little different, but kind of same idea. Obluse Rosy Drops from Red Elephant. This gives more of a red blush tint to the skin, but it's very glowing. It has omega fatty acids in it, so it's kind of skincare treatment too. What else do we have? And this YSL sample I had, the new Glow In Balm. I didn't get much out of it, but we're going to test that one too. Was that everything? Yeah. So a lot of these that are kind of, I think, have the same idea. I'm going to go ahead and kind of like swatch each of them on my skin so we can see them all compared to each other, like the finish side by side on the arm. Okay. So I will be right back. Okay, so to start with, here is our Natasha Denona that we're modeling everything against. This is the Versed drops right here. So I'm kind of going with more tinted at the moment. So gives you a little bit of a glow, but it's kind of tinted also. Next is the Dior Star Filter. That one definitely has a lot more coverage in it and highlight. Ooh, I love the finish on it. I love that Dior, I gotta tell you. Beautiful. So, so far, that's what we got. I wanted to do ones that were more tinted. Now I'm gonna work a little bit more on like primer, you know, kind of clear but glowy primer from below. I'll be right back. Okay, now we're getting into the ones that I felt were a little more maybe clear, but although this one looks more tinted than I thought, but the rest of them are more of like a sheer clear finish. Right here we have the Elemis Superfoods. Next we have the YSL Glow In Balm. Then we have Micho Primer, Glowing Primer. We have the L'Oreal Lumi Glow, and we have the MAC Strobe Cream. So blending it into the skin, let's see what everything looks like. This is definitely much more of a skin tone match for me, that Micho. The rest of them give more of like a silvery glow on the skin. And that YSL, actually that one feels so good. That's the silkiest one. Love that one. But then the Superfoods, that gives you more of a shiny, but kind of gives you like a shiny feel to the skin. And then that Dior primer, I just love. Okay. So there we have it. I mean, still such similar, everything's kind of drying in. So the Natasha Denona is definitely more powdery than any of these. These are all in like liquid forms. So that Natasha Denona definitely needs to go over a moisturizer, whereas the rest of them all kind of hold their own liquidy feel. Now, that one is the most like dry. That's the Versed drops. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna rank that last because it's kind of drying into my skin rather than giving a really good like dewy finish like I thought. And I actually have that in my bridal kit. But man, that Dior one, it is so soft. My skin right there feels so soft. And you can see a subtle glow, but it's like, it is just so soft. It's like treating the skin. It's so beautiful. It doesn't sit on the top of the skin though, like the other ones do. It's like sinking and absorbing into the skin, and it feels so good. The next one's the Elemis, and I'm almost feeling like my skin's peeling from this. It's really blended down into the skin too. And it's kind of almost disappeared though. That YSL balm, so silky smooth also. I don't mean to be favoring these high-end ones, but I gotta tell you, they're the ones I feel like are feeling the best on my skin. And then these last three, that were more of the silvery sheer finish, the Micho, the Lumi Glow, and the MAC. They all are more, they're sitting on the skin a little bit more, and they feel more like a highlight to me. You know, like just highlighting the skin, and I like the effects of it, like it's glowing, but it's definitely more sitting on top rather than like under, treating it almost like skincare. I honestly would prefer, I was going to put all of this on the face for you, but I feel like I'm getting a better feel for how it's absorbing in the skin when they're all side by side like this. I can really compare it well and kind of tell you the differences between them all. The last two I'm going to put on are the ones that are more tinted though, with like color. So you have this one that's more of a blush, like a red blush, and this one's a little more of a pink blush. Here are the Red Elephant Obluse Rosy Drops. Yeah, you can definitely see that it gave it more of a pink finish. And then here is the Danessa Myricks that is more in this dewy, wetter form. And that's the same idea though with that blush. So how do they look compared to each other on the skin and feel? I feel like these are so similar. Let me have dry. So the red, you know, Elephant Drops are sinking into the skin a little more, and the Danessa Myricks is kind of sitting on top of the skin a little more and is glossier. Obviously, you know, the finish is different because one's in a liquid form and one's in a balmy form, but they're starting to give the same appearance on the skin, aren't they? And really, when you rub them in, like, they kind of blend in, but that's kind of the appearance that it gives. So there you have it, guys. Here is my arm full of products that are different, like bases, I think, that can kind of go under makeup or over it, depending on how you want to use it. But you can kind of see it all like glowing from within. I think they all give a similar idea. Just some are going to be a little bit more soft and skincare treating. So if I had to rank my favorites, I think my favorites, guys, are the high-end ones. It was the Dior and this YSL, just because of how they feel. They are so soft. Like, they're really softening my skin, but glowing too. However, these didn't give a super like sheer highlighty silvery glow. They were definitely more glow from within skincare treatment. So I think I really love this primer, Mishko Beauty Sheer Glow Primer. I think it's that one. And I love both the glow it's giving off, but also how it feels. And surprisingly, I thought I loved this LMS Superfood Glow Priming Moisturizer, but it's the one that is peeling on my skin right now. So it might be drying my skin out just a little bit, and I didn't realize it. Crazy. I didn't realize that was the case, but I still am loving like this sheer silvery look that both the MAC and the Lumi Glow are giving off. I think those two are so similar. Like, they might be dupes. This might be a dupe for this. And then the Danessa Myricks and the Red Blues, however you pronounce it, the red drops, you know, it's hard to compare because it's like, it's just giving you more of like a rosier tint to the skin if you want that look. But if I had to choose between the two, I like the look of the Danessa Myricks because it's a little more glowing than the red drops. The red drops aren't as highlighty. They're more just tinting the skin. And I think that honestly, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think that the Verse drops might have come in last, as well as the LMS Superfood. So crazy. Now, compared to the Natasha Denona, though, I think the Natasha Denona is very different from all these others because it's more of a powder. Once you put it over a moisturizer, it's very glowing and soft, but on its own, it's a little more of a dry formula. So this is definitely, when she says a powder, it is a powder. The way that it was marketed, it seemed a lot more liquid than I thought, but it is indeed a powder formula. So keep that in mind. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to kind of get an idea of other products that can kind of give you a lot of these same ideas of like glowing skin, where you could go very minimally. It's not quite a skin tint, but it's, I don't know, the Dior may be a little more of like a skin tint. This is more like a mix of a primer and a skin tint. I don't know how to explain it. And a highlight. But for the most part, all of these are more of like a primer or like a just very like, you know, glowy base or skincare that is mixed as a primer and skincare and glow. So just some great ideas for how to keep that summer glow skin tint, you know, skincare and products in your makeup cabinet. I tried to rank them, but I can't really do, and I don't know that we had a true ranking today, but you had some ideas of like which ones were probably my favorites and, you know, how they all performed against each other. So, and overall, I like this little Natasha Denona idea and concept. Could I have lived without it? Probably, because I think I can get a similar idea in these other products. However, it was a little different. So no, I mean, I think I like it and I'm glad I own it. But anyway, hopefully that helped give you some ideas too on how to use the Natasha Denona. So that wraps it up for today. If you guys enjoyed this, you'll want to stick around and pop that subscribe. I cover a lot of reviews like this and battles. I love to kind of do battles and dupes and comparisons, but also I do a lot of beauty boxes here on the channel and we try a lot of products that way. So unboxings, hauls, tutorials, and I love to do vlogs as well. So if you enjoy that, you'll want to stick around, pop that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.